Low buy or no buy? Which is better? If you're worried about consuming lots of things, you feel like you have too much stuff and that your spending is out of control, then considering a low buy or no buy year could be the way to go. But which one is better for you? So a low buy year means drastically reducing your spending so that you are spending very minimal on a regular basis. So it means that you're really thinking about the things that come into your home, but you're still allowing yourself that little bit of wiggle room or bits and pieces that you need. So for example, you might want to limit yourself to buying one item of clothing per month rather than being able to have free spend on any number of items of clothing. Or it might be that you limit your grocery bill, your food bill to a certain amount each month. That's when you're restricting the amount that you can spend on a particular category or on a particular quantity of items. It's about being conscious about what you're spending. Now, a no buy year is even more restrictive. It means absolutely no spend on any particular categories for a specific period, as long as you specify. So it could be that you do it for a month, it could be that you do it for 3 months, 6 months, a year, but you are completely restricting the amount that you are spending. Obviously, this completely excludes any of your standard everyday bills. Those are obviously going to be paid. It's the extra stuff, the stuff that is non-essential, that we are talking about here. This is a really good way to change your mindset, to think about your willpower, and to really think about changing your mindset around spending. So now let's talk about the pros and cons of a low buy year. So a low buy can be much more sustainable and realistic for many people. It allows for occasional treats and prevents deprivation. However, it can be challenging to stick to limits and may not lead to significant savings. It depends on your mindset here. It depends how you structure it. And there are some really great strategies for structuring a low buy year that can really help you work on particular challenges, but also give you that freedom to be able to have that idea of being able to spend something. The cons: potential for overspending and less impactful on your savings. If you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and press like and subscribe so that you find out when I next upload a video. And any like, comment and share is very much appreciated, and it helps my video get seen by other people that might find it helpful. So thank you. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of a no buy year. So a no buy can lead to significant savings and a clearer mind. It forces you to appreciate what you have, but it can be isolating and difficult to maintain, especially during special occasions. The cons: potential for social isolation and difficulty sticking to it. So when I did a no buy year, I found it really helpful in paying off debt and building up a savings pot. It really did have a massive impact on how I thought about the things that I bought, and that has continued as I've then gone on to do low buy years. So more recently I've done low buy years because I feel like I still need to be able to buy bits and pieces for my wardrobe, because I'm trying to build up my capsule wardrobe into what I want it to be. But obviously I want to be able to enjoy little things, so I give myself money that is allowed for social activities, for food out, for entertainment, because that is important for me to socialize. It's a big important factor for me that I want to maintain in my daily life. So I allow myself money for that, but I also very much restrict money for other things. So which one is going to be better for you? You need to think about what your goals are. Is your goal to pay off debt or to save money? Or is your goal to actually reduce down some of your spending so that it's not spending above your means? Think about what your goal is here, because if you're really after clearing debt and saving money, then a no buy is going to be really impactful for that. And don't forget, you can also combine elements of both, and that's pretty much what I've ended up doing. There are certain things that I don't spend money on at all. Like, I really don't spend money on knickknacks or souvenirs and things like that, but I do spend money on like the odd piece of clothing to build up my wardrobe, but that's about it. I am really limited in what I spend on physical items, and I spend more money on experiences and trips, etc. Let's talk about tips for success. So regardless of which choice you go for, a low buy or a no buy, there are some good tips that you can put in place to make sure that you're successful with them. So for starters, you need to set some really clear goals. What is it that you're aiming for? What are you trying to achieve? This is going to help you decide whether or not to do a low buy or no buy, and it will help you keep a track on what you're doing. You also then need to track your spending. You need to keep receipts for everything. This is a really good way to self-monitor your spending habits, and also it's a good way of looking at your before and after. If you can get your spending tracked before you start your low buy and no buy, it will make a difference in how you can visualize that end goal, because you'll see the difference in what you were spending before and after. You also then want to think about finding alternative activities. What activities can you do for free that is sociable, that's active, that isn't going to cost very much money at all, or no money at all? And you also want to regularly celebrate your wins. If you have yourself a successful week, make sure that you celebrate that and reflect on it and really give yourself a pat on the back for your efforts, because it's you that is going to need to celebrate you. So think about how you're going to celebrate and what you're going to do when you have achieved your goal. So are you saving for a particular purpose? And what does that end goal look like? What are you going to use that money for? And most importantly, don't be too hard on yourself. There are going to be times where you need to pay for something in an emergency, or something happens, or there's extra gifts to pay for. Don't be too hard on yourself. Things happen, life happens. Just remember that actually, because you've been more conscious before that, it gave you that wiggle room to be able to work through that emergency that you needed to do. So don't be hard on yourself, because that is life. That's how it works. You just got to reset and start again when you're ready. Remember, the goal is to live more intentionally and more simply in your daily life. So whether you choose a low buy or no buy, the journey is about self-discovery, and it is very much a journey that is going to have ups and downs, and you've just got to ride those waves as you go through it. But you'll be surprised how quickly your mindset changes. I shall be back for more videos soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.